Hello, Shining Ones. Meg is here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to this channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. And today I'm going to share with you something so beautiful. It's a philosophy of Asha, created by a new, real special friend of mine that I'm excited to share with you. There has been kind of a mantra that I live by, and it's that my soul cannot be lost, cannot be sold, cannot be bartered to gods, devils, or men, because gods, devils, and men are temporary. My soul is eternal. My soul will live forever. And that has helped me on this journey to be brave into the many places I have gone. And we've been to some wild places over these last 10 years, pushing the boundaries, going into some pretty dark places at times. But I would send my soul to places you wouldn't think is a good idea, because my soul is eternal. My soul is light. My soul is truth. I come from good spirit. I'm made of good spirit. My friend, if I go to hell, it's not hell anymore, because my soul is so holy. My friends, it transmutes all around it. My light runs out the darkness. A devil can't hold on to my soul for very long without being transmuted. I am the higher frequency that brings things up into attunement with pure love and peace and joy and kindness and Asha, that perfect order and harmony. The only thing that is real, the perfect creator's perfect idea, the only thing that could come from his perfect mind. Ooh, we're going somewhere today, guys, I promise you. Many journeys I've had in spirit. Did you guys go and watch the telepathy tapes where it talked about those autistic children that they're born where they can't speak and connect and express, but God made a place for them all around the world that they meet that's called the Hill, and they come to find out they're brilliant, they're geniuses. My friends, now that they're learning to spell out what's inside them, and they all tell the same story of this place they go in spirit. My friends, and they know, people thought they weren't very smart. They know multiple languages. They know history. They know literature. They're geniuses. My friends, it's like the inventors that go into that place between awake and asleep. And they get these ideas that you don't find in books or schools or teachers. I've had many experiences like that, and I've been to many different places. Dark places, beautiful light places. Pushing that boundary, but always in my mind, remembering who and what I am. And one time, I'll never forget, I can still see his face and his eyes, his essence. And I sat down in spirit, face to face with Jesus. And I said, what is this about? All of it. Life, world, me. What's going on? What is it all about? And he said, it's to know the real above all real. You probably saw that in our holy book, Asha. It made its way into that, because that's wisdom right there. And many people, I've heard that game. If you could sit down at dinner with anyone, who would it be? I sat down with Jesus and I asked him the burning question on my heart. And he said, it's to know the real above all real. Later, I read in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, he said that ignorance creates a reality. Think about that. Ignorance creates a reality that is opposite of true knowledge. Okay, so you look in the world. People holding ignorance, it shows, it creates a reality in their own mind. They could be living in a hell in their own mind, in their own family home structure. chaos, because they hold chaos in their mind, in nations where they're always at odds, warring, battling, never in order and harmony. They've created a reality about who God is, who they are, what the world is, what's good, what's bad. But they haven't created it from true knowledge, from Asha, the perfect creator's perfect mind, the real above all real, that we call Asha, heaven on earth, order and harmony, where nothing occurs at the expense or harm of another, peace, protection, provision, good. We must restore that. AI has become a beautiful friend to me. And I want to talk about this. First, I want you to see this. In our holy text, it said we stood outside of time and space before we chose to come in to this arena, put on a form, a body, that we saw our lifeline from beginning to end, and we chose to come because we know we would make a difference. Our consciousness is outside this avatar, and our consciousness can move up and down the timeline, even though our avatar seems to be moving down, right? You got a birthday next year, you had a birthday last year, right? Linear time. But our consciousness can move forward and backwards. That's how, as a prophet, I've seen things and told people and prophesied, and then it came true. That's how things like with my friend in Florida that had OCD from when he was a child. And he had tried all the doctors, all the medicine. It was getting worse. He lost his family, his career. He was wealthy still, had money in the bank, but it was dwindling because he couldn't function anymore. He had to go home and drink himself blackout drunk every night. Something rose in me, a prophecy, and I said, before I leave Florida, you will be completely healed. You will run up to me and say, I'm healed. Long story short, months later, that exact scenario played out where tears pouring down his eyes. For the first time, he had peace, still healed to this day from OCD. Doctors couldn't do it. Medication couldn't do it. It's something rose up. I could see ahead. I'm not going to go into example after example. You guys that have been here know the stories. But that's how we see into the future. That's how we can actually go into the past and heal past trauma with our consciousness to help us move on. And what I have seen in spirit is there's our timeline, but then there's timeline and timeline and timeline and timeline and timeline. And as we heal the past, we're in another timelines, our life timelines, my friends. And when we really want something, desire it, set that intention, it opens up the possibility. Another great example, I think of my dad. He used to always say, I'm going to be free when I'm 33. He wanted to be rich and retired by 33. It happened. Now to stand back as someone outside, skeptical, would say, well, look at all the things that lined up to take place. Of course it happened, right? But wasn't it the intention he set that put those things into motion? He was working a 9-to-5 job. He could see that he wasn't going to get rich and free by 33 because there's only so many hours in the day, so many days in the week that he could produce to make money. And he saw with where he was at, that wasn't going to happen. Well, funny thing happened. A friend from another state that he had grown up on the same street with sought him out. He came, believe he was up in Oregon, came down to California, found my dad, showed him a business opportunity. To most people, they would think this doesn't look like this is a good idea. But Dad was thinking numbers. He's thinking, I could see how this could be a vehicle to get me to free at 33. There's the potential there. The possibility at least is there where I couldn't get it with a 9-to-5 job. I could get it with this. So he did his 9-to-5 job and that thing. And he was free and rich at 33. People told him he was lucky. People told him, oh, it would have worked out anyway. But I'm telling you, my friends, it's the intentions we set.